Hi, this is Vicki Christensen Oak Shields for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. We are here this morning at the Perry Haynes Ranch in beautiful Central Texas. Our good friend Bill McRoberts, part of the She's Gone Country team, made the trek down here, and a long trek I might say, from Haines, Alaska. Bill is the connection of why we are here at the ranch today with some great interviews. This gentleman sitting in the middle is why, much more than a good friend of Bill's, but a brother. Bill, can you introduce?
Sure. This is Rick Hollar. Rick and I go way back. We was in the Army together. Matter of fact, we was his 5th ID at Fort Polk, Louisiana. Rick was the battalion S3 officer, operations. And I started out as his master gunner for the whole battalion. And then later on, Jerry Criswell, another friend of ours who's passed away, stepped down, and then I stepped up as operations sergeant. And we had the luxury of taking the whole division from Fort Polk, Louisiana, 5th ID, and moving it to Fort Hood, Texas, right at the start of Desert Storm.
Wow.
And so it was a very interesting move, trying to get the families moved, and they actually wanted us to start prepping to get things ready to go and stuff. So we're doing gunnery while we're trying to move our troops to Fort Hood, get families set up. To say the least, it was one of the biggest nightmares that we ever faced together. But Rick and I survived it.
And Bill's the guy that made sure it went off flawlessly, because as the battalion operations sergeant, he was responsible for all the moving pieces in the battalion. The battalion had about 700 soldiers.
Wow.
We had probably over 1,000 family members. We had equipment. We had weapons, ammunition, people going everywhere. And it was Bill that I turned to and said, okay, we'll go make this happen. And off he'd go and make something happen. Kind of like us being here today.
And you know, that, again, that's the reason why we are here today, is because of your relationship. And I know you all haven't seen each other in about 16 years, I believe.
November 2000.
November 2000.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, and we're going to talk some more here in a little bit when Kate comes on camera with us about some of the different things that the ranch does here that's involved with the veterans. And, you know, we were visiting earlier off camera, and I was telling Kate and Joanne that, you know, back in Vegas, She's Gone Country, we've been very blessed to do a live show all 10 days during the NFR at Mandalay Bay for Roper Cowboy Marketplace. And that's how we, you know, Bill grew up in my neck of the woods, so Pendleton, we'll set that, Oregon, up in the Northwest. But we invited Bill down, and he brought several different people with him involved with the veterans in Alaska, and we called it Military Monday. And so we just expanded on that, and we are just so honored, Becky and I are, to be part of what Bill is doing and all the work taking place with our veterans. So tell us one special story, and that's it. Don't get anybody in trouble.
So Bill.
I think probably my favorite story was Rick and I, is how he protected me one time, because we was doing a battalion gunnery at Fort Polk. Mm-hmm. And Colonel Cassie, he was the battalion commander, and it got ugly out there with some of the company commanders. But when we did gunnery, I didn't leave the range. I slept in the Humvee right behind the steering wheel, constantly on the move and stuff. And what it was we was short on ammo, so we was rationing. Well, we had a couple of company commanders decide they was going to push some of their crews down range anyway. So what it boiled down to is they did something they wasn't supposed to. Colonel Cassie found out that they got all this extra ammo, so we're having a debrief at the end of it, and I had just put on E7. And so my introductory to the debrief with Colonel Cassie was, I put those stripes on you, I'll take them off of you. Because the company commanders told him I gave him the blessing. Oh, so Rick is sitting there, and he's taking all this in and stuff, and after the meeting, Rick goes to his office, and he calls me in there, and he makes a phone call to these company commanders. And it was very interesting to see him standing there at parade rest in front of Rick, and Rick reading the riot act that, you know, you need to step up and get the courage and go tell Colonel Cassie the truth, that you guys took it upon yourselves. So that was probably one of my most memorable moments, is how he always stood by me.
He had your back.
He always did.
Rick, your story?
Every day that we worked together, Bill had my back.
Awesome.
Every single day.
That's great, and and it's so wonderful, that y'all can spend this time together, and I know that Bill's looking forward to the next couple of days of hanging out here at the ranch with you, Rick, and you got lots of visiting to do, and She's Gone Country, we're just honored to be here and be a small part of it, so we'll go ahead and close out this segment for right now, and we're going to bring in Kate Love, and she's going to fill us in on the history of this great ranch. Once again, this is Vicki Christensen O'Shields for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. Thank you both so much.
Cool.